Hello, everybody. This is Adamu. So, I want to begin, at least make a podcast about raising children unpeacefully. This means yelling at children, beating children, maybe spanking, in any form, in any way, abusing children, because it is abuse. It is not punishment, it is abuse. And by children, I am referring to people of age 0 to 18. So that is the age range I'm referring to. My plan is to find some research paper that talks about beating children and what the result is. Why is this important to me? Why is it important to this topic? To Nigeria Freedom Radio? Well, it is important because children that experience some kind of abuse tend to be affected by that abuse in a manner that affects their freedom. That means their relationship with others and themselves. Abuse really is detrimental to children. So that is why the children abuse topic is important to me. If children are raised without abuse, with reason and logic, they will grow up basically, most likely, adhering to logic and reason and evidence, which means most likely they will shove government aside. They won't believe in government, which means they would have also really strong relationships with themselves and people around them. It has a multiplier effect to raise children either way. So at least I will dedicate a podcast. I don't know when I'm going to do this, but eventually I will do this. In Nigeria and in Africa in general, beating is part of our culture. We beat children, parents beat their children to force them to do what the parents want. Children get beaten in school. I have been beaten by my parents at least more than once. I have been beaten at school. This is since nursery school, primary school, and then secondary school. It's normal. It's absolutely normal in Nigeria, and I think in African countries. Although it's not as bad as my parents' time. That is when my parents were younger. I think it's a lot worse then. For example, when I was beaten by my parents, I was little. I don't know how old I was, but I was little. I can't remember what the occasion was, but I do remember. It must have been intense that I still remember. But I don't remember what I did for sure. And then in school, in the secondary school I attended, it's common for children to be beaten when they are late to school. I've been late to school, so I've been beaten. This began since nursery school, that this beating starts. In classes, in primary and secondary school, our teachers beat us for making noise. And I have beaten children. I have beaten children. I used to be a teacher. One, I have taught in an Islamic school. We call it Islamia. I've taught primary school, and I've been children, because that's how I know. That's what I know. That is the method I know to discipline children. I am resentful. I will never ever do that again. Absolutely resentful for what I did. So that is the effect when we raise our children with no logic at all, with basically do as I say, because I'm your dad, or I'm older than you, or I'll hurt you. Then when these children grow up, they will do exactly the same. They don't know any better. And imagine a society that is basically characterized by a method of discipline like this, having a government. It's bad. It's really bad. It's a really bad combination. And that's why there are a lot more civil wars. I don't know. I think there's a lot more civil war. This is totally my opinion. But I think there's a lot more civil wars in Africa than anywhere else. Tribal conflicts. That's what I mean by civil war. Just crisis between tribes. And slavery started in Africa by Africans. So, and now, after independence, Africans took control of their countries. And of course, you see what happened. Power change, military coups, disaster, just disaster. So that's why, at least I want to dedicate a podcast and continue to talk about this, especially at home in Nigeria, where this is common. It's absolutely an uphill battle to tell an African parent that they shouldn't beat their children. So my friends, at least one of my friends that knows too well, accepts beating as a way to discipline children, to make them nice, to make them better. When the research have absolutely proved otherwise. No research has shown that beating children is good. No research, nothing. But tons of research has shown that no beating is better. So, yeah. And one more important point. Oh, they're all important, aren't they? I think that is when we get to the root of the cause of the violence in the world, that could be traced back to the family. I'm inspired by the work of Stefan Molyneux. He talks a lot more details than I am going to do about this. You guys should check him out. freedomainradio.com or his YouTube. But all the ills in the world can be cured if we raise our children peacefully. Of course, not everything will be cured, but a lot of this violence can be cured. So, thank you very much for listening. I really, really appreciate your time. And watch out for the podcast on peaceful parenting. Thank you and goodbye.